Howdy guys, time to play Guess the Operating System. Yup, we have another Linux distribution trying to look like Windows. This time it's AnduinOS. And well, are they trolling us? Or is it any good? Let's have a look. Righto, so in the live CD, it's pretty obviously it's trying to look like Windows 11. Based on their website, this is actually one of their stated goals. And they want to ease developers and new users into Linux by maintaining similar behavior and UI. I can get behind that. So AnduinOS is an Ubuntu-based distro, and they are quite obviously running the GNOME desktop environment. Once you get past the initial double take, especially if you have used GNOME before this, it's not that big a difference. It's almost like they just slapped a Windows sticker on it. The installer, for example, is pretty standard for Linux. It's actually even more subdued than the normal GNOME setup. Speaking of default GNOME, I actually like what they've done with the UI. I'm a long-time GNOME user myself, but even I find it annoying how by default it comes with no desktop icons or panel. So in that sense, AnduinOS has taken some of the good bits of Windows . I'm loving this installer screens as well, custom-made slides for the win. I'm actually a bit surprised this distro wasn't on my radar until I saw it on DistroWatch some days ago. Most Windows clones don't amount to much, but I feel like Anduin might be different. And once again, a very nice boot screen. I'm really liking this distro's approach. Very slick and understated. Login screen is all very familiar as well. I like how they've made the right-click menu very similar to Windows. Just lowering the barrier for entry. Let me try to fix up the resolution before we do anything. Righto, so it looks like the star of the show, at least from a UI sense, is the panel and menu. They've put some work into having the Start menu centered, with the application's menu appearance different to standard GNOME. There's not a whole lot of apps pre-installed though. Looking through their site, I was expecting an Office suite, but looks like things are quite light. The widgets and other UI elements are fairly true to their GNOME versions. They're all tweaked just enough to not look too different. Just the perfect mix of familiar and different. Nice work. With AnduinOS, the appearance is also pretty close to GNOME. We have a light and dark mode, and also a highlight color selector. The highlight color don't do a whole lot. You hardly even notice it. And as is standard, we have two wallpapers, one for light mode and one for dark. That's pretty skimpy in my book. At least include a couple of the default GNOME wallpapers. The console app comes with just two color modes, so a bit too much like Windows there, but I think they work. I'm not a big fan of the light mode menu, it just looks too much like an afterthought. The icons look fugly. The Software Center, once again, is just the regular GNOME Software Center. I will probably install a few applications and see if all is well. I'm not sure if I'm disappointed that there were no default installed apps. The website had Blender and Steam and a few others, so I was hoping there would be a bit more pre-installed, but no luck. It looks like Anduin supports both Deb packages as it's Ubuntu-based and also Flatpaks. Righto, so I've decided to go full tilt into Windows mode and rectified the wallpaper situation myself. I'm sure this would easily fool my nan, who is an avid Windows XP user. Also, it looks like they are using Dash to Panel to pull off the Windows appearance. Dash to Panel is my Go to GNOME extension, and it does come with loads of other tweaks. Also, there are a number of extensions, and you can just toggle off to go back to vanilla GNOME, but I wouldn't. Watch this, and vanilla GNOME. Nothing too impressive. I would keep the toggle on. Anduin's updates are a definite improvement. Okay, so why another Windows clone? Surely if you want to move to Linux, you would just need to get used to the different UI? Well, I would normally agree, but I do see a few subtle tweaks Anduin have made, like right-clicking on the desktop to change screen resolution, or just having desktop icons visible by default. Things that, if they were different, would really confuse someone when they switched from Windows. I think AnduinOS makes some commendable improvement to the normal GNOME experience. They've taken a less is more approach, and while it was a little disappointing in some areas, overall, it's a thumbs up from me. And, well, since we are going full Microsoft mode, let's also try out VS Code, which was another application highlighted on the AnduinOS website, but not pre-installed. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Would you give Anduin a try? Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Until next time.